Okay, so let me ask you this now. So the transition from the Indies into NXT into the Performance Center was very easy, very comfortable. You didn't have to change anything. So when you went up to the main roster, like I think me and everybody, and I want to see if what was the difference. Me and everybody looking like the way they were portraying you was going like, have they even like seen this guy yet? Is it like it looked like they were like looking at you for the first time and just generically throwing you out there? Did you get that feeling
So let
that
me
they
let me
like,
piggyback. Let me
yeah,
add to that question because I had a similar question. So you're undefeated. You're running through Ramshot. You and Scarlett are probably the biggest thing on NXT. Everybody's talking about you. Hot as hot entrance. Everything is. They're booking you the way you should have been booked, right?
Mhm.
Now you're finally going to meet the old man. First time you're meeting him, you've heard so many things about him. A, how did that first conversation go? And two, what were you thinking? Because I know you try to put a positive spin on everything, as you should. When the guy goes, "Oh yeah, I want you to wear this gladiator helmet," what was going through your mind?
Well, I had half a dozen people. Well, we had half a dozen people tell us that he knew who we were and he had seen everything. And
For a long time they were telling us that he knew who we were and he liked us and they were in meetings with him and our names had come up randomly.
we're good to everybody. So we're usually in the know about stuff before we're probably supposed to be in the know. And then we had another half a dozen or a dozen people tell us that
He has
maybe he
no
has
idea who
no
we
idea
are.
who we are. And
Never seen the
they didn't
entrance.
know if he'd ever
Doesn't
even
know the
seen
oh
moves.
god, so now you're getting the typical WWE right off the bat. You're like the
Mm-hmm.
red flags are growing up. All right, well, what's going on here? You know, like how political is this, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and it was like then people were like, "Oh, well, the costume and doing the job, you're being tested." And it's like I've been here for over a year and a half, and I've literally done everything that everyone has asked me to do. I've stood there and by script been emasculated in a promo and been totally okay with it and cool with it for the segment of the program. Like I'm cool. I don't argue about anything. I don't take anything personally. They want to test me like this, okay, like I guess if they want, but to us, honestly, like it seemed like really bizarre. Like we just really none of it was really adding up. But we know we know what we're getting into when you sign that contract. It's not our show, and we don't like the
Mm-hmm.
show. You know what I'm saying? So,
But how did Vince sell you on this idea? Or what were the first things he told you when he met you?
oh, this is just. I mean, this whole concept that people saw on main roster with Yuff and all that was literally given to me in an email, and I was told, paraphrased in the email, that basically these were ideas that were collaboratively thought of, and he was a part of it.
Mm.
And so that was sort of basically how it was brought to my attention. And then when the outfit was ready, I put it on and I asked him what he thought of it, and he said he thought it looked badass.
And the best part was, can I say this part about the mask?
Yeah.
Later on, apparently no one knew whose mask idea it was because they were like, "Oh, the mask was your idea," and then Kevin's like, "No, it wasn't."
No, it
And then
wasn't.
apparently no one wanted to take credit for who thought of the mask
Where the
idea.
mask came from.
Yeah.
I still got to be the devil's advocate in this. I talked to you about it. I was like the only person on the planet Earth that liked that mask. Because in my mind, I was thinking like, okay, if Vince McMahon has this vision of a gladiator character, that's a guy standing over his prey, holding up his belt like Gladiator Russell Crowe. That's not a bad character, so I don't mind it, you know. But like everybody else was, it just seemed out of character for you.
Yeah,
Why
but
are
he
they
didn't
Totally.
come off like that, bro.
right?
He
And he
didn't come
should
off
have
as
been
a
beating everybody, squashing
right.
everybody. It does go beat, but not getting beat by Jeff Hardy here, by Keith. It just ruined the whole gimmick, you know.
Yeah, I do. Listen, a lot of people will disagree with this, and they may think that I'm full of and trying to put an optimistic spin on it. But it could have worked, as ridiculous as it looked. But you have to make things make sense for people. You know what I mean? Like,
I was still
imagine
singing the song.
she was still
Like
singing
I
the
was
song.
still
She
Right.
wasn't
yeah.
there. You can't say
Right.
you didn't understand the character because in the lyrics of the song, it explains the entire presentation of the character. The
Yeah.
lyrics are a giant spell going over the audience from a witch telling everyone who the character is. Like, it's all, this is all very strategically created for a full package presentation. And I mean, imagine, imagine if you had debuted Kane 96 with no explanation that it was Undertaker's brother, and he just randomly came out and they jacked up his entrance and Paul Bear randomly was missing. Like, it would not have been successful. And I'm not comparing myself to Kane 96, but I'm just saying something that was so, off world, otherworldly, so to speak. depending on how things are presented, people are either going to accept it or reject it. And I don't think that the full trigger was completely pulled on this, unfortunately. That's the way it felt.
Yeah. And so what was your was there ever a point where you actually became frustrated with how you were being used and you said this and you actually complained, or you were just going along with everything until the vaccination went down?
Well, I can tell you that on the second, I could say on the second week of the outfit, I had said to them, I said, look, this is not being received very well. And basically, like, I think we need to change directions. We need to change course on how this is being presented. I mean, we need more layers to this, or we need to just get out of it. And I was basically just, paraphrased, told to stay the course, essentially.
Which was very unclear. It's just a guy with a mask going out there wrestling matches, basically.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's crazy, right?